Welcome to The Explainer. You know, it feels like the world is splitting apart at the seams, right? But what if I told you there's a different kind of split happening? One that you won't see on the news, but that's happening quietly inside millions of us. Let's dive in.
And this quote right here, this is really our jumping off point. The idea that to understand what's really going on in the world, we have to be willing to look past the obvious, to look beneath the surface of things.
I mean, it's a question a lot of us have been asking, especially these last few years. You can almost feel the tension in the air, this sense of two opposing sides. But what if the divide we all see so clearly isn't the one that actually matters? So before we can even talk about a split, we gotta get this one core concept down. Every single one of us sees the world through our own unique lens. And here's the kicker. When we change, our world changes with us. Reality isn't just something happening to you. You're an active participant in creating it every single day.
So how do all of our individual little worlds connect? Well, the source we're pulling from calls it the collective web. Just imagine trillions of individual threads. That's our thoughts, our choices, our actions, all weaving together to create this shared reality we all live in. It's a massive, living tapestry.
Here's a powerful way to visualize this. Think about your home, your street. When you zoom out on a map, you see how it connects to the town, the country, the world. You are a vital thread in that web. The energy you create right where you are, it ripples out and reinforces the whole structure. That's real power.
Okay, so now let's talk about the divides that are anything but quiet. The ones that have been screaming at us from every screen. The pandemic, politics, all these huge global debates. It felt like they carved a massive canyon right through the middle of society.
And for so many of us, looking at these clear battle lines, we thought, okay, this has to be it. This is the big split everyone's been talking about. It seems so obvious. You were on this side, or you were on that side. There was no in between.
This question just nails it, doesn't it? It highlights the absurdity of the whole thing. Can a transformation as massive as creating a new Earth really boil down to a simple political choice, a left turn or a right turn? The material we're looking at says, no way.
And that brings us to a pretty radical idea. What if that huge, glaring fork in the road? What if it was all an illusion? What if the whole conflict was designed, engineered to look like the main event?
The source uses this incredible metaphor. It says that when you jump into one of these loud public fights, it's like stepping into a boxing ring. You pick your corner, you lace up your gloves, and you get ready to fight for your team. But here's the absolute key. It doesn't matter who wins the fight. Both boxers walk away beat up and exhausted. The fight itself is what drains you. The real loss isn't the match. It's having no energy left for anything else when it's all over.
So here's the argument in a nutshell. These huge public battles, they aren't the real split. They're distractions. They're designed to keep us tired, angry, and constantly trying to patch up a broken old system, so we're too worn out to ever dream of building a new one from scratch.
So, if all that noise isn't the real split, what is? Well, according to this perspective, the true shift, the real divide, is happening so quietly you could almost miss it. And this is the big reveal. People are starting to take off their gloves. They're just stepping out of the ring. They're not switching sides. They're walking away from the fight altogether. And in the growing silence left behind by those who've walked away, that's where the new Earth is actually being built.
This is what we're calling the silent divide. It's not about choosing side A or side B. It's the personal, conscious choice to stop playing the game entirely. To stop feeding the conflict with your energy and, instead, turn that energy inward to create something new.
And you'll notice, the path of this divide is the total opposite of those boxing matches. It's quiet. It's not angry. You're definitely not going to see it being debated on the 24-hour news cycle. Why? Because it's a deeply personal, internal journey. It's about finding a whole new road that completely bypasses that fake fork in the road. Okay, so what does this all mean for you, for me? How do we actually build this new reality? It all comes down to where you put your focus and your energy. Right here, in the present moment.
The steps are actually pretty simple, but they're not easy. First, you just stop fighting. You put down the sword. That frees up so much energy. Then you point that energy at what's genuinely important to you. You start living your truth without needing anyone else to approve of it. And from that place, you just start building your world.
And look at what building your world can actually look like. It's not about some grand abstract gesture. It's tangible.
It's about calming your own nervous system, learning a new skill, planting a garden, baking your own bread. It's about creating a resilient personal reality, piece by piece, from the ground up.
Now, it's super important to understand this isn't about checking out or pretending the world's problems don't exist. It's actually the opposite. It's an act of deep, intense focus. You need quiet because you're learning how to thrive outside a system that seems to be falling apart. You're building the lifeboat while the old ship is sinking.
And this, right here, is the thought I want to leave you with. It's so powerful. For so long, we've been in this constant state of reaction, just trying to keep up with the chaos. This idea flips that entire script. It says that when we stop reacting and start consciously creating, the world around us has no choice but to start responding to us. So the only question left is, what world are you choosing to create today?